Hello, this is Alex, and you're watching Animate Magic. So, if you're anything like me, then you just love notebooks. Just the sheer amount of custom tools available continues to amaze me, and I want to try them all, even if I use just like one node. Today, I'd like to show you some interesting external notebooks for Houdini. All of these are totally free as of time of recording this video, so feel free to stick around. I'll show you how to install these, how to update these, and where to look for your own. Right, so simple downloading is that you go to the GitHub page, press this green code, then download zip. Then you extract it to a secure location and then proceed as follows. Although I recommend using GitHub because it gets you updates when you need them and it's more streamlined. So what you need to do is get GitHub desktop and Git for that matter, and what you will do is then open with GitHub desktop on GitHub page. It will probably ask you permissions, which is nice. I do open with GitHub desktop. Then you should choose iDirectory. I put mine in Additional libs MOPS master-git, and I always write my files are -master-git because I like to remember which files are Git managed and which are not. And I've put my files in Additional lib within Houdini preferences because these files aren't that big. But you need to remember that if you change a version of Houdini, then you will need to change the file paths as well. So it will get you a repository which is called cloning. Okay, so this is the file structure that you will see. Every extension has very similar folders in it. What you are looking for is a packages folder or a JSON file, which will be inside of packages folder. This JSON file is important, but if you can't find it and if it's like not there, then what you need to do is just copy your OTLs or HDAs into Houdini's OTLs, HDAs, and that will be it. But the packages installation is much better. So to perform the packages installation, you will copy the JSON file, whatever it may be called. It will usually be the name of the package you're installing, in this case MOPS, and copy it into packages folder inside of Houdini preferences, because this file will be in your documents. This is not the installation file for Houdini, keep that in mind. Okay, so what you'll want to do is paste the JSON file in there and then edit it in this game with Notepad or whatever you like. So inside of the JSON file there will always be a variable. In this case it's called MOPS, and we need to set it to a path where we have it. So what you want to do is go back to your file location and then shift right click at the file and do copy as path. So just copy this whole thing and place it here. And then what you want to do is change all of the backslashes into forward slashes. It sometimes works if you don't do that, but you will sleep easier if you do. So the advantage of using GitHub way is that whenever the author releases a update, you can just do git pull, which is this thing here, and it will automatically update your files and you don't need to worry about anything. Whereas with manual download with zip files, then you would have to delete the new file, download the new file and then overwrite it. Alternatively, you can go to the file where you have the extension, then write in the address path, you can write cmd, and that will open command prompt. So the file path tells you where you are currently, and all you need to do is write git pull, and that will also automatically update your files. And that's really it. Always check what kind of nodes do the node pack add to your Houdini, and then you can check it inside of the node list if they're there. Alright, so the first of the toolsets I'd like to introduce to you is SideFX Labs by SideFX and its team. So this one is an absolute must-have, and it's also the only package that comes with Houdini launcher. You don't need to install it in any fancy way. It just comes in with Houdini, and that's good. Um, it's an absolute must-have. It gives you options of UV unwrapping and just loads and loads of useful tools. There is this one is absolutely mandatory. And then the second package I would like to introduce is qLib by qLabs. This one is also a set of useful tools that you can use if you'd like. But what is the most important, I think, is that it gives you just loads and loads of options within some nodes. For example, if you're doing group expression, then it gives you these pre-made group expressions to choose from, which are very handy. And basically, in every single context that there is in Houdini, it will enhance it in some way. And apart from that, it also gives you just some nice visualizers for stuff. And third one would be the AeLib by Nicolas. And this is yet again just a pack of very useful tools for most of the context, also inspired by qLib. And notably, it also offers some very interesting solvers like accumulation solver, propagation solver, stuff like that. So these things can really teach you a lot if you start to dismantle them, and you can also use them for some very cool effects. Then the fourth example is MOPS by Henry Foster, aka Toadstorm on GitHub. MOPS is this way of transforming packed pieces in Houdini, which used to be quite cumbersome, but thanks to MOPS and what Henry has done, um, he just basically made it a lot easier to use and much more user friendly. These four are absolute must-haves. I can't see why anyone would not want to use these. If you want to see some nice usage of MOPS, then you should probably go and see Paul Estevez's tutorials, because he's really fond of MOPS, I think, and he knows how to use them very well. Alright, so the fifth one is LV2 by Luc van, and this is a very much smaller toolset, but also has some nice quality of light upgrades and some interesting nodes that is always nice to have. And then the sixth one is Dash by ProBiner. And this one is interesting because it mostly adds VOP nodes, which I adore, and I should really look much more into this one, because it's just an amazing tool set, and it also offers you some didactic materials that you can understand, for example, how a dot product works, how a cross product works, things like that. So a material for learning, and that's good. And then I'll go to some, I'd say maybe this tool will be a little less useful for just about everybody. Just these are two more specific. So the first one will be MLOPS, which is machine learning operators by Paul Ambrosiusen and Tagma. And this is basically an interface to use Stable Diffusion within Houdini, and you can train models, use data with AI and everything. If that's your thing, then by all means, you should probably have MLOPS on your system. And the second one is GSOPS by David Rhodes, and that's a specific toolset for manipulating Gaussian splats in Houdini. I haven't really played much with it, but it looks like it can do some funky stuff with those Gaussian splats. So if that's something that you would like to try, then this is probably something for you. And last but not least, I'd like to mention SDF Modeler toolset by Handcrafted CC. And it's a way of modeling within Houdini that allows you to use SDF operations and SDF meshes to model stuff in a new way. So that sounds like something super useful. Because Houdini is good for everything, but for modeling not so much. So maybe that should help you model some things that you would like to model. And the modeler add-on, the normal one, is paid. So yeah, this one is free. And it was awarded in Houdini contest for technical creators, I believe. So that's awesome as well as GSOPS with those Gaussian splats. So yeah, these are definitely ones that I have on my system at all times, pretty much. Alright, as far as sources of nice toolsets, we have 3 sources that I know of and that are like, solid. So first of all would be Awesome Houdini list, and links to these will be in the description below. And this list is like huge and there is a lot of stuff in there. You can browse through it. Second source would be Houdini Tech Art Challenge, which is held by SideFX, and some of the projects that I told you, just like GSOPS, were in the Tech Art Challenge. That's how I found them. So you can browse the forums, and there is actually a lot of submissions that people make their own tools and submit them for the challenge. They're all free, but I only mentioned those that awarded some places, but there are tons of these. And the third one would be Orbolt, which is kind of like Houdini asset site, which has both free tools and paid ones, and it has this nice way of importing projects directly into Houdini, so you don't need to worry about any file management or something. And there are also nice projects there, and also nice like forum posts, people chatting about this stuff and everything. So yeah. Okay, with this I'll wrap up this video. Check out the description to find all of the links and even more cool additional tools for Houdini, such as HMT, Houdini Music Toolset by Andrew Lowell. If you feel like producing some music using Houdini's procedural workflows, hopefully my Patreon page will soon be active. It's already on, but there is not much content in there. But if you'd like to support my work, I'll be eternally grateful. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.